Hello, this is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. And boy, do I have some good news today that I want to share with you. So, one of our clients' work permit came through within 7 months, which if you've heard me before, the processing times for work permits has been about between 6 to 12 months, but more on the longer side. The good news is I'm seeing work permits coming through faster. They are 5-year work permits. So our client has now been approved for their 5-year work permit and the travel document. This is VAWA based. So my client is not depending on anybody else for this. It's all theirs. They don't have to worry about whether this spouse is going to sabotage the process so that they, hi there, Ricky Flossie. It's nice to see you. So they don't have to worry, oh, thanks so much, my treasure 002. So they don't have to worry about, is the spouse gonna take this away from them? Thanks so much, lovable Chanel. Thanks so much. I'm so happy about this. Each victory is, I know it's life changing for my clients. I know that, and so it's like new every time. Getting the approvals is like new every time, especially when I know what is at stake here. So I am so happy. Now, I wanted to tell you about a little about what this VAWA case looks like so that if you're going through the same thing, you know that there's this option here, because a lot of people think that they won't qualify for VAWA because this spouse, thanks so much on TikTok, thanks so much for the congratulations, thank you. So I'm going to tell you more about this case so that if you're going through the same thing, thanks so much, child of God, Mackie. You can also get in touch with us. Know you have options. Know that you'll be okay. I know my client is going to be okay. And the amazing thing too is they're really not joking around with trying to speed up processing times, because our client just did the biometrics and this still came through within a short period of time after the biometrics. So that's also good news. Now, the issue with this particular case and many of my clients' cases, but since we have the approval here, I'm going to talk about it, is that the spouse refused to move forward with the process, kept on delaying the process, kept on blackmailing their own spouse, their own immigrant spouse. If they don't get money, if they don't do this or that, they're not going to file the papers. And so it kept going on and on like this until my client had the know-how to identify, thanks so much on YouTube, to identify that this spouse was really not looking out for their interests. They were intentionally trying to hold them off from applying for the process, sabotaging the process, stopping them from progressing. And they just knew that based on this, they should seek independent legal advice about options. And so that's how my client ended up meeting me. They knew that this is something that I focus on. They called, and within short order, we got straight to work. And now, my client is going to be sitting pretty with that work permit and travel document. Now, here's the power of the travel document is my clients, even though what I do say is always make sure that you have your attorney on hand to advise about whether or not you should be traveling. Is it a good time to travel? I always ask my clients to check in with me when they have the travel document and they're about to travel, so that we can just monitor everything to make sure that there are no increased risks before they leave the country. But I've had my clients go on vacation, short vacations, to their home country or to other destinations, as long as it doesn't require visa, or as long as they have the visas to enter those countries. My clients have taken those travel documents to basically have the freedom of travel outside of the country and be able to come back in. So it offers a sense of reassurance and freedom to my clients, and even the travel document is 5 years right now. So yes, it does take months. It's taking 6 to 12 months. This one took 7 months for our client to get, and I'm noticing a lot of these work permits are coming in faster. But uh, I say start now so that you can get to the 5 year work permit. In the sooner you apply, the sooner you're going to get to that work permit and travel document, and the sooner you're going to get to a peace of mind as well. All right. So now that I've talked to you about it, so the main issues here is financial abuse. So financial abuse and extreme cruelty, and then the fact that our client did not, um, they could not get this spouse to move forward in the process. They kept on using it as leverage, and that is a form of extreme cruelty because they're using their immigration status against you. The work permit is 5 years and not two. It's 5 years. No, it's 5 years for VAWA. It's 5 years for adjustment of status if you're going through marriage or family. It's 5 years for asylum. Uh, so yes, it is 5 years now, right? Because there has been some delays and it has become very stressful for immigrants and for on the immigration services side to constantly process renewals for these 2 years, because you'd be so surprised how quickly 2 years can pass, and then we have to apply for renewals. Right now we're going through a batch of renewals for our clients that previously got 2 years. But in October, as of October 1st, 2023, they turned those to 5 year work permits. So all my clients that are getting the work permits or have been getting the work permits after October 1st have been getting 5 year work permits. That you will get the green card in a shorter period of time. So, but they give 5 years to ensure that you as an immigrant, you're not having to face job loss as a result of delayed renewed work permits. You can work consistently, work steadily, work continuously until your green card is approved. And our clients are getting their green card in 2.5 to 3 years after we start. But as you can imagine, the work permit, between the work permit and the travel document, they get the social security number. It offers our clients stability, reassurance, the ability to get a head start on life while they wait for the green card to come through. So the benefits are essential to start with. Now, VAWA is available. Even if you came into the country without permission, there is potential relief and forgiveness for permanent bars as well. It just depends on the facts. And the VAWA, once you get the VAWA green card, you can apply for citizenship. So VAWA green card based on a marriage or a US citizen, you can get the VAWA green card you can get citizenship after getting the green card in a shorter period of time, 3 years. So, and if you overstayed your visa, this is also benefit that you can apply for. All right, so I'm going to answer questions today now that I've shared my good news. So go ahead, put those questions in the comments. So can you help with alien smuggling? So if you're talking about, I can't help with alien smuggling. But I think I understand what you're saying. Can you help with getting forgiveness for the alien smuggling? So call us, let's talk, because there are circumstances where you can get a waiver for smuggling. Now, smuggling is the waiver is available to the basically the spouse, and if the waiver is available to the person that did the smuggling, if the people that were smuggled were spouses and or the children of the person that smuggled them. So if that fits your scenario where you were coming in with a spouse, with children, then that could work for the waiver, and we do those. Can I apply for the PIP even if I have a permanent bar just to get the working permit? So it really depends on it's very discretionary. So it is possible to apply for the PIP even with the permanent bar. However, you would still have to overcome that permanent bar, which it's the options are limited with adjustment of status, but I noticed you said just for the work permit. And it depends on the circumstances involved. So give us a call. Let's talk about getting started, but it is possible to get parole in place. Parole in place is primarily, this parole in place process is primarily meant to help to fix your situation so that you can qualify for adjustment of status. But the parole in place is still possible even if you can't go for adjustment of status. When you just filed your document and submit everything, how long USCIS normally takes to respond? About 2 weeks. Do you take clients in Atlanta? Absolutely. We represent clients in Atlanta for sure. We represent clients all over the country, all 50 states and around the globe. Can I apply? How long for I-130 approval for a U.S. citizen filing for wife outside the country? 9 to 12 months. How can make it fast? I'm not sure. I didn't get the other question. My EAD card is expired since 3 months. I'm working with received letter. So keep in mind that if you receive the receipt notice, you can take that receipt notice with the 540-day extension. That notice serves as your extension on that expired EAD, that expired work permit. Take that and carry it to your employer and show them that you have a 540-day extension while you wait for the card. How long does it take after fingerprint for a citizenship interview? So I don't usually count from the biometrics because it's up and down. It just depends. But we've had interviews in as little as 2 months after we filed to 8 months after we filed. The average time is 6 months. Will I be able to travel while working on my AOS? If you applied for your travel document while applying for the AOS, then yes, you'll be able to travel. I came here on J1. Do I have to have an immediate reason to file a waiver? So the waiver is going to depend on what you qualify for because there are multiple waivers, but the most common is getting the no objection letter from your country. And this waiver is not based on anything like hardships. There is a waiver available based on persecution in your country, but that's a separate waiver. In this no objection, they're more focused on as long as your country issues a no objection letter saying they don't mind you getting this, the waiving the 2-year foreign residency requirement, then they should be able to approve that waiver. Can you refresh those just coming on who are allowed travel documents? So if you're applying for adjustment of status through VAWA, through family, through employer, through employment, or other means, you can get a travel document. You can also get a travel document if you're applying for certain other types of benefits as well. Sorry, I tuned in late. Would you suggest that one get a work permit before applying a green card, work permit? So the work permit comes along with the application. So you have to apply for the work permit along with the application for the green card. So work permit doesn't come first. Will I be able to travel while working on my AOS and green card? Yes, you would if you have a travel document. When you just file your documents, how long USCIS take to respond? 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. Um, let's see. My question is, my green card will expire very soon. Can I remove it on my own? Give us a call. We do help with that. And yes, it's possible. If your spouse filed for divorce, absolutely. But you must apply for a formal waiver requesting that you can apply on your own. Give us a call. And it's at this point, it is urgent. Give us a call, schedule your appointment, and let's get started on that. So we're talking about going from the 2 year to the 10 year without the spouse. I came here, let's see. How long it take USAIS to reach? Oh, so I answered that. Do you deal with alien smuggling? When you just file your document, how long it takes? So I think I answered that one. It's 2 weeks to get a response. And 400 charged but dismissed other country 15 years ago. Should I mention? I'm not sure what. If the N400 was dismissed, we need to look at your history. It sounds like there's a complex history there that we need to sift through. So give us a call. Let's talk. My husband's case just got sent to the NVC. What's the next step? NVC is going to know if your priority date is current, they're going to contact you and then they're going to invoice you for the affidavit of support fee and the immigrant application fee. Once you pay those, they're going to open up the portal so you can start uploading your documents. They're going to review the documents. They take about a month or two to review those documents. And then if everything is to their satisfaction, they're going to documentarily qualify you. If not, they are going to respond and let you know what you need to fix. This part of the process can be very frustrating because if you don't get it right, this can cause 6 months delay. I've seen it happen where people hire me because they get so tired of the delay and they don't know what they're doing wrong because they're very specific on the documents and how you submit it, the formatting of the documents. So it's important at the NVC stage that you make sure you get it right. We can help with that. Once you're documentarily qualified, you have to wait again for the interview to be scheduled. And right now, I'm seeing a pattern of about a year to a year and a half to schedule that. Will it be absolutely necessary to have documentation for every month of last 10 years? If you can, if the document can reflect that you've been here for 10 years, but it doesn't necessarily have to be every month. For example, if you have an affidavit that describes the periods of time that you are present without going month for month, then that's a type of evidence that you could use. Tax returns, tax statements. That's one document, but it reflects maybe a whole year's worth of presence in the United States. So you don't necessarily, if you're doing bank statements, then definitely I would show every month, bank statements covering every month, because those are based on monthly transactions. But there are types of documents that don't necessarily mean, for example, a report card from school. A report card from school can reflect your attendance. That's really good evidence because it would reflect your attendance, days you were absent, days you were present, and it would show a whole year's worth of information about where you were. So it just depends on the type of evidence that you're presenting. Do I need to file for taxes to apply for PIP? So it's not a requirement for you to show that you file taxes, but if you do have taxes, it's going to be good evidence of your continuous residence in the U.S. for the past 10 years. My husband is citizen. Can he apply for my kids as stepdad, and how long will it take? So if you got married to your husband before your children turned 18, yes. How long do you get work permit in regards to marriage green card? 5 years. All right. So if you want to reach out to make sure that you get personalized legal advice, do that now. Our schedules are filling up. Attorney Bria works very close with me and can definitely speak with you to determine how we can help you and get started ASAP. Great things are happening in immigration right now. We hope that continues. So be a part of it. Don't make sure, I don't want you to miss out. So get started now. I'm a permanent resident in the USA and I filed for my husband the I-130 form. How long will it take? So I'd say 9 to 12 months. This Is it fine to get work permits on two different cases? Yes, it's fine. Our clients have we've had two, say two cases, and our clients have gotten two work permits. So, for example, when our clients get approved for VAWA, but they still have an adjustment of status, the adjustment of status is still pending related to the VAWA, they issue the VAWA work permit, but they still issue the adjustment of status work permit with the travel document when we apply for it. So it's okay. My friend lost his brother today. I'm so sorry. Is it okay for him to expedite on VAWA case based on that? It depends. It depends. You can show an urgent humanitarian need to have it expedited, but it's really on a case by case basis that they determine that. They also give the option in the case a relative passes away. They give the option of an emergency travel document if that's what he needs as well. Do you address other categories as well where you're located? I'm not sure what you mean by other categories, but we do anything that allows our clients to get relief, get their green card, get their work permit while staying in the US. We do it. It's my first time to hear VAWA. What is VAWA? Who is entitled to that? VAWA is so it's a type of immigration relief to spouses, parents of US citizens, or children under 21 and unmarried of US citizens and permanent residents, and also spouses of permanent residents and citizens. So if you're being mistreated, if you're being um, abused, right? Abused or mistreated. It doesn't have to be physical, doesn't have to be reported to police, you don't have to necessarily have pictures of injuries, because it could be emotional mistreatment, could be verbal mistreatment, could be financial mistreatment, could be extreme cruelty. If that is the case and you're experiencing that, you can get your green card. And while you wait for your green card, you can get your work permit and travel document. This kind of relief does apply to you even if you don't have your papers here, you came into the country without permission, or you overstayed your visa. It's still available. So if you know anybody who needs this help, or you yourself need the help, get in touch with us and call us right away so we can get started. How long is the work permit for VAWA? It is approved yesterday, so it is 5 years. 5 years. My Do you get the work permit while T visa is pending? No. So it does have to be approved. It takes about it could take anywhere from 6 months to 18 months for approval. Um, uh, most approvals are coming through in 1 year. And then at that point, shortly thereafter, we get the work permit. And the work permit is 4 years. And then you get to apply for your green card afterwards. Number is 561-405-4889. I'm going to put it in the comments on Instagram so you have it. It's under immigration lawyer Sharifa. How it costs for the work permit, it depends on how we're applying for the work permit. Definitely give us a call first. The best thing you're going to do is set the appointment and let's confirm you qualify. Do you help with international student matters? It depends on the situation. We like to hear what your situation is first and then determine how we could help you through it because it may vary, may range. So we want to understand your circumstances. After biometrics, how long does it take to get the T visa approval? Great question. So before late last year, I noticed that the biometric was coming. The biometrics would take about 10 months, and then we got the approval. And so I noticed that happening, but now I notice it's gone back to first the biometrics and then about 10 months later. So you get the biometrics about 2 months, and then about 10 months later, we get the decision. So I would say it ranges, but right now I'm seeing mostly about 10 months after the VAWA, 10 months after the biometrics. If someone is on H-2B, can they go on filing and apply for a change of status? It depends. You have to take into consideration the risk of having immigrant intent. If immigrant intent, they decide that you have immigrant intent, that can contradict the H-2B. All right. Go ahead, scroll through, and you'll see the number under immigration lawyer Sharifa. It's 561-405. So I see I know you're trying to help me out here, but it's 405. So 405 and it's so easy to put 404, but 405 4889. Okay, so I put it in the comments again. And go to my page, you'll see my number everywhere. Immigrant intent means that you intend to stay permanently because you file a petition showing that you want to live in the US. It doesn't necessarily mean that because it may be years until you can stay here, but that they may determine that you have intent to stay and you have a high risk of overstaying because of that. Can I submit I-485 and I-765 separately? Yes, it's possible. Why would you want to do that? It depends. I know it's going to depend on the situation. And this is where you need to make sure you get legal advice. Call the office, schedule. You can also go to the link in the profile. The button is at the top to confirm your own appointment. You can select anybody who's available, and you'll see all of our calendars and be able to select who you want. Right now, Attorney Bria is available. So go ahead and select. If my schedule doesn't work for you, please make sure you schedule with Attorney Bria, because the point is we work together to help our clients, and I want to make sure we can talk to you as soon as possible. Exactly. So, Vice Pretty, yes, the number is in the bio. So go ahead, call the number, and you'll get to speak to our team members who will be more than happy to assist. My friend petitioned for her daughter in Jamaica. Her daughter came on B1, B2, and overstayed. She suffered depression, wanted to stay in the US. What will be the outcome? It depends. So if the friend is a US citizen and the daughter is under 21, then she can still adjust status here in the US. However, if she's 21 or over, it's going to get a lot more complicated, and she should definitely get legal advice because there may be an I-601A waiver required, and they may not be allowed to stay here and apply for the green card. They have to go back to the embassy. But before they go back to the embassy, they have to apply for forgiveness for the overstay so they're not stuck outside of the country. So they need to talk to us here at the firm. What is consultation fee? 150. What can you add? And can you add your child who is 19? So for immigration purposes, under 21 is considered a child, but whether they can be added is going to depend on the application type. Okay, if you are in fear of going back to your country because you face torture, persecution, that's where you need to give us a call. Asylum may be an option for you, but you have to act fast because there is a deadline to apply for asylum. If you're on H-2B and your employer pay you off and supply no work for you, um, what can you do? Give us a call, because if the H-2B employer took you here and then they're keeping you on staff but not supplying you the hours and you're struggling, then there's something wrong there. And that this may qualify you for the T status, but we have to talk to you about what's going on. What if someone offers to marry you, let you come, and they don't do it? Can any action be taken? It depends. Now, if they do this as you and they do it as an arrangement, it's not legal. So it's not allowed. It's not worth doing it. You probably were lucky. I hope you didn't give them any money, but it's not legal, and you could get into a lot of trouble arranging marriages, right, that are not real. But say you built a relationship with this person and they lured you to come here to the US and gave you all these promises. They're going to marry you, you're going to start a family, life is going to be great. And then you come and they don't do that. Instead, they mistreat you, they force you to do acts against your will. Those could be acts like doing work in the house. You find yourself feeling like a maid to the person, and may even involve other intimate type of acts that you don't want to do. Then that could qualify you for T status based on fraud and coercion. So we would want to talk to you to figure out what happened there, and how we can get you relief. You say you can get green card without marriage as well as work permit. Yes, it's possible, but is it possible for you? That depends on your circumstances. Okay, the judge let me go in July. Okay, under CAT. Okay. So is so Okay, so on if you were released under CAT, you may still be able to get a work permit based on that. I know you're in limbo, you don't have official status, but you still may be able to get the work permit. Hi there, Sherelle. It's nice to see you. Can I live in the US whole life with green card? Yes, but I highly suggest once you qualify for citizenship, you get it, because then you here's a horror story. I've done consultations with people who have been here their whole lives from they were 4 years old. They don't know anything else about the country that they came from or their parents came from, but yet since they were children, they never became citizens. And then something bad happens. Maybe they get into bad company when they are in early adulthood, and that leads to trouble, criminal arrest. And at that point, when they're facing the criminal arrest, turns out they have a conviction and it's a deportable offense. Guess what? Other than asking for mercy and asking ICE to somehow terminate proceedings, that person is looking at being deported to a country they know nothing about. Had they gotten citizenship before this happened, they would not have been deported or faced any prospects of deportation. So I would never suggest that you spend your whole life on the green card. At the point that you qualify for citizenship, go for it. Ricky Flossie, now there are options available. In regards to other options, we'd have to talk again to see if circumstances change, but there are options. Um, My master calendar hearing is coming soon. Can I ask for a little more time? I recently obtained the work permit. So I've seen judges give more time. So it may be possible, but you do have to go in prepared that if the judge gave you a chance before, they may not do it again. But it's possible that I have seen where people go in without attorneys, and maybe for the first two appearances, the judge gives the immigrant a chance to go find a lawyer. So it's possible. Hello, can you still get the work permit while waiting for an adjustment of status? Absolutely, yes. How long does it take to get green card after approval of VAWA? About 6 months to a year. How long after submitting a VAWA case may I file for divorce? So you don't sometimes you at the same time you're filing the VAWA, you're filing for divorce. I had a client that the divorce was filed before the VAWA case, and my client is now a green card holder. So it doesn't affect the case just as long as you file that VAWA within 2 years of the divorce being finalized. How long after hearing from NVC about I-130 can you make the payment? They'll definitely let you know. They'll send an invoice, so you'll know it's there. How long it takes to get work renewal after submitting renewals? About 6 months. But keep in mind the receipt notice that comes in 2 weeks gives a 540-day extension on your work permit. So, um, oh, thanks so much, Child of God Mackie, for helping out with answering those questions about where I'm located. Are you based in New York? We have our office based in Florida, but we do represent clients in all 50 states and around the globe. We're very good at it. So it does not affect our ability to represent our clients effectively. Yes, when you can work, it's a beautiful thing. I agree. It is life changing. How long does it take to get green card after VAWA approval? I said 6 to 12 months. How long after marriage can one file for VAWA? If you face mistreatment a day after you are married, you can file for VAWA. There's no time limit on when you can apply for VAWA after. Just if the day after you got married, your spouse did something that falls within the category of mistreatment or extreme cruelty, then this is meant to empower you to walk away and feel safe from that situation. So even a day after. Okay, so I've tried doing consultation, but you're booked. So we do have availability through Attorney Bria. So keep in mind that you should be looking at all of our availabilities because yes, mine is might be till October, but keep in mind that you have the option of talking to Attorney Bria, and we do work together to make things happen. So make sure you're not missing out, and you do contact us to schedule with Attorney Bria as well. All right, and let me see here what's going on. And all right, in VAWA case, any chances for RFE after EAD? I got my EAD. Yes, there's always a chance for a request for evidence. Um, on VAWA is a combo card. If yes, so the work permit comes as a combo card when you apply for the travel document. Can I ask a pending asylum to apply for a visitor's visa? I would never suggest that one takes the risk to travel with a pending asylum. The reason being, you don't want to give immigration any need to believe that you have an alternative option to travel to another country for safety, right? Because the asylum is saying the US is really your last resort option. I have two work permits, VAWA and asylum, and travel document for VAWA. And at the airport, can I show asylum work permit? So this is a bit complicated. Um, and it depends on where you're traveling to. So if you're going back to your home country, you applied for asylum, but you have a travel document under VAWA, you have to be very careful, because doing traveling to your country on asylum with an pending asylum can indicate that there's some form of fraud or contradictions in your asylum application. So you want to be very careful with that. You should talk to your attorney about that for sure. Please, I filed my VAWA 4 months ago and I haven't gotten prima facie. So I'd say prima facies are 3 to 6 months. So you're not outside of that. If your auto status coming from H-1B, what can be a step forward to get work permit or self-sponsored? It depends on your background and qualifications. I'm a permanent resident in the USA. I filed for my I-140. How long will it take? 9 to 12 months. All right. Thanks for the love on Instagram, on TikTok. I appreciate it. And YouTube. Thanks so much. Do I need medical, a new affidavit of support for my interview if I already submitted it? No, I'm not your attorney and I can't give you particular legal advice, but usually as long as it meets the requirements, usually not. The medical is known does not expire, and then the affidavit of support same does not expire. But if there's something defective about it or you want to update it, you should carry. What I would say is carry copies of what you submitted, though. What are the ways a J1 can get a green card? Like the same ways everybody else does, family and employer, humanitarian means. Did my interview 4 weeks now. They are reviewing, but they approved my travel document Monday. So yes, it might take them a while. They might be looking into something. Can I get a work permit with my C1 D1 visa? I'm married to a US citizen. Get legal advice. Because you cannot overstay your C1 D1. It leads to disqualification for adjustment of status. It will not qualify you for the work permit. So you need to, before you end up overstaying it, please make sure you get legal advice so you understand the full implications of overstaying a C1 D1. That's a crewman's visa. Can I get a work permit? Okay, so I answered that. I got alert DHS has a temporary pause of advanced travel authorization. So I believe you're talking about the parole program. So yes, they've halted it due to concerns of fraud right now. And this has been available to Venezuela, Haiti, and a few more countries. Do I need a medical? Okay, so I answered that. I'm from Kenya. Can I get a green card or work permit when I am still here in Kenya? No. You can get an immigrant visa if you have a sponsor, an immigrant visa to come to the US and get your permanent residence, your green card. but the work permit is not for anybody outside of the US, it's for people here. Can I apply for PIP with life ban? Yes, that is possible, but it's keep in mind this is very discretionary. So you'd have to make sure that you present solid evidence as to why you are qualified for the PIP. And then this PIP is not going to fix the ban to get the green card through adjustmental status. How long after prima facie should I expect EAD? So I count from date of filing. If it's VAWA, it's going to be about 6 to 12 months. If it's family based, 3 to 6 months. How long does it take for I-130 after you apply? 9 to 12 months. How can I shift my asylum case? Can it affect and I'm not sure what that means. So it depends on what your facts are. I applied for my green card, so how much time it will take, it depends on what kind of green card. Who are you applying through? What are the ways a J1 can get a green card? Through the ways like everybody else. There's so many ways. There are like over 21 ways to get the green card. So we'd have to figure out which one of those ways you qualify for. If you have voluntary departure and did not leave, can you file for voluntary if you didn't leave, you didn't comply with the voluntary departure, which means that that voluntary departure automatically turned into a deportation on the record. So you would have to revisit that as a deportation. About how long after biometrics do you receive work permit for the U visa U? So it's about a year and a half after filing that we've received the work permit. 3 years ago, I got my green card from VAWA. When can I get my citizenship? If you're married to a US citizen and the VAWA is based on that, then 3 years after approval of the green card. Cost for consultation fee, $150. All right, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks everyone for your time. I will be back actually today is Friday, so I'll be back on Monday. And then you can definitely save up your questions. You always have such great questions. I see here, I can't resist this question. What's the difference between the T visa and VAWA? So there are a lot of differences here. So the T, I always say for the T, the person who's doing the mistreating can be anybody. And the person who's doing the mistreating is forcing you to do things that you really don't want to do, but they have a pattern of behavior against you, that makes you feel trapped in that situation and afraid to leave. And with VAWA, if you're being mistreated by a US citizen spouse or permanent resident spouse, by a parent, if you're under 21 or under 24 and under, or if you are the parent of a US citizen who is age 21 or older, you could qualify for VAWA. T visa, there's an indirect path to the green card. First, you get the T visa approved, you get your status and a 4-year work permit. Then you apply for the green card. For VAWA, it's a direct path to the green card. You can apply for the green card at the same time you're applying for VAWA. And when the VAWA is approved, then they automatically process you for approval for the green card. So end result is the same. You could end up with a green card for both situations, but of course, the way you qualify is different. How can one, if abused in the past, get VAWA or change in status? If you can show that you have the qualifying relationship, the spouse, the parent, or the child, then that's how you're going to qualify. It doesn't matter how much time has passed, except if you've already divorced the US citizen. If you've already divorced a US citizen or permanent resident, and it's been more than 2 years since the divorce, then you wouldn't be able to go for VAWA anymore. This is where if you're divorced, but in the 2 years it has not been 2 years after your divorce, you need to get on it right away. Are you only talking VAWA? No, we don't just do VAWA, but it depends on what you qualify for. All right, that's going to be it for me. Thanks again, everybody. I'll see you on Monday. In the meantime, please follow, like, subscribe. I release videos on a regular basis to help empower you and give you the information you need to understand how you may qualify. But I always have to leave it to you to reach out to us to get the help you need. And how you're going to do that, give us a call. Go ahead, schedule, call the office or go to the link in the profile. It's me, Attorney Bria. You can go on any one of our schedules and book your consultation ASAP. Both of our schedules are filling up fast, and the goal is to help as many people as we can. So get on the schedule so we can help you.